It's time for good energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and welcome to Bodyful Day 254. I am scooching to the edge of the stoop so that I don't get wet legs while I'm standing here or sitting here. We are talking about constipation in the senses, and today we're talking about the sense of sight. So sit back, we're going to learn how the sense of sight can activate your good energy in and how it can be a stressor. And so before we dig into this, let's start with the basics. Take a deep breath in and release. Take a deep breath in, expand in the belly, expand in the chest, expand in the sinuses, and tuck your tail. And breathe out. And now, since we're talking about the sense of sight, I want you to think about when you've had stress from a visual perspective that has resulted in you not being able to go when you're supposed to. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and release. So remember, this is day 4 in our series. No, it's actually day 3 in our series, sorry. Day 3 in our series. And our goal is to have energy to get past constipation, or have energy to be regular equals good energy in minus stressors. And our goal is to use the sense of sight to balance your energy to be regular. And one of the ways that we can talk about this is we can talk about how the sense of sight can, and remember we've kind of honed in on this, the sense of sight by itself doesn't have positive or negative feelings, except that it does when it starts to activate our brain. So what is stressful to you visually, house on fire, is not maybe as stressful to a firefighter whose house on fire says, let's go, let's get her done. So we're looking at the fact that visual system can either activate your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight or freeze, or it can activate your parasympathetic, which allows everything to relax and move along as it's supposed to. Remember that if your sympathetic nervous system is activated, you do have 2 possible responses. One, you drop trow and move along. Think about encountering a bear in the woods, and the nervous system just says, we got to get rid of everything so that we can move along. In contrast to if the bear is in the woods and you hear the bear and you just decide you're just going to freeze and not move, so do your bowels. So our goal here is to look at the visual field and see if we can find a good way to get good energy in. And I alluded to this on day 1. We talk about the visual system, and we can talk about the fact that our response to light, while driven a little bit about the visual system, mostly by the pineal gland with that optic information, can react to darkness and light by setting us up for a particular time of day for things that we should be doing. So for example, if you are like Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory, your morning constitutional starts at 7 o'clock. You reserve your bathroom time from 7 to 7:20, and that is when you have your bowel movement. You are just that regular. But if Sheldon had to wake up earlier, or if for some reason woke up later, the difference in the visual information is going to cause an alteration in the sympathetic nervous system. You're either going to be awake too early, and we've all had this experience getting ready for the airport and leaving early. You might be leaving at 3 or 4 in the morning. You're like, nah, I'm not going to be regular. That's just not going to work. Likewise, coming home when it's dark, and that part of your schedule, if you're an evening person, that part of your schedule is thrown off. So the visual system has a lot to contribute. Our goal, of course, is to increase your good energy in, and we know that we can do that by providing soothing sympathetic or parasympathetic information. So one of the things you can do is you can change your visual field. You can go into a dark room for a little bit. If you're an evening person, we talked about this with sleep, calming the system down. You can look at particular colors. Green is neurologically soothing for most people, but it might not be your color. Is there a color that induces bowel movements? No. Unfortunately, no. That's sort of a personal preference thing. But you can use different visual filters. You can use different concepts. Lighting these days is a little harsh, so maybe finding a way to more dimly lit your room when you wake up in the morning so that it isn't bright. That might calm your nervous system into moving in the right direction. Who knows? Our goal here is to activate the good energy, is to provide enough visual good energy in so our nervous system calms down, relaxes, and allows the parasympathetic nervous system to kind of just ease things through the body, rather than forcing them through the body with the sympathetic nervous system. And so to that end, anything that is visually calming would be better than anything that is visually aggravating. Trying to see if there's anything else. I was sure there's, oh yes, I was missing a whole topic. On the visual perspective, we can talk, I'm sure if you're on Facebook, you have seen the poop graphic. The poop infographic that tells you that there are various levels of what is considered good poop. And what is on the extreme is pebbles and liquid. So you do want to be in the middle. One would suggest well-formed. You can, and not, do people look at their poop? Yeah, a lot of people do look at their poop. And there are a few things that you can get out of it. If it is pebbly, that means that there's not enough liquid there. That means it sat in the body too long and things have been pulled out. And remember on day one, we talked about the fact that there is bad bacteria that converts that to butyric, not butyric, but to a short chain fatty acid, which is inflammatory, and shoves it back into your body. So we don't want little pebbles because we know that the bad microbiome have been at work. At the same time, we don't want liquid because if you have liquid coming out, if you've got diarrhea, then you are not keeping that liquid in you, which is very negative. So we need a balance. Visually, there's not much we can get in there, but we did talk about some ways yesterday with the taste sensation of how to change your bowel movements by either having natural laxatives, natural antibiotics, natural calmatives, natural increases in salivary gland activation so that you have more spit and saliva to digest your food. All of these can be incorporated to help with the type of bowel movement that you have at the end, because that is visual information, and sometimes looking at your poop and going, hey, it's either on either end of the spectrum can be stressful. So I hope this has been entertaining. I'm going to come at you early tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving Day, and we'll just kind of do our quick early ones so that we can get all that out of the way. And I can work on cooking, you can work on cooking or relaxing or whatever you're doing for the day. But I will see you here tomorrow ever so briefly. Have a great day. Finish off. Take a deep breath in. And release. I'll see you back here tomorrow.